The following presentation is a production of Ride the Wave Media.
This is Game Related. With Just Blane.
Yes, here we go. McBain, you ready? You don't look ready, McBain.
Definitely. Oh, man, I've been ready.
Okay. Man, this is going to be a wild one, man. So we got a lot of feedback out for last week. We talked about the console wars. So we're gonna touch on that a little bit again. You know what, though? We talked a lot about Death Stranding, and I just took a trip this past week to Moab, Utah. I felt like I was in that game. There was parts down there that looked like I was in the game, man. I was looking for BTs. I saw some handprints on the cars. It was wild. You don't believe
stayed?
it? I'll send you a picture. Huh?
Okay. And you stayed?
that's right,
You didn't
man.
leave? Okay.
No, I got the hell out of there. I did get out of there. Hey, man, we're gonna talk. We got a great guest coming up on this show. We got Kris G, A.K.A. Idea Unsound. We're gonna get to him. We gotta talk about what it takes to remove something from a game last minute. We're gonna talk about the big deal between Disney and Epic Games. $1.5 billion, man, and Helldivers 2, yay or nay. We're going to end with that. But let's go ahead now. McBain, if you're ready.
Oh, yes.
Unless you got something else you want to talk about. You got something on your chest, McBain? What's going on over there?
Oh, you know me. I'm always trying to pimp myself out. Follow me on Twitch, Ryan McBain. Gotta get some pub
Ryan
in there.
McBain on Twitch.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, McBain's, you got about 90-something subs this month, I think.
Yeah, man. I got
You need
up to
some
91.
more subs, huh? Yeah. 91 subs.
Not too much because,
I love
I can't really afford too many more of these animated emotes that people have been
That's
making.
right.
Those things are not cheap, by the way. They are not cheap.
That's right. Hey, what's the max Twitch emotes they got now?
Well, if you're an affiliate, I think you can have, I think you can have 20 animated, I believe, and 20 like regular. Anyway, they're expensive.
That's insane.
It's like
That's
the guy
insane.
The guy I use, I think for animated emotes, charges like $65 per emote. So like,
Wow.
unlocking those slots is good and all, but I don't want to unlock them all at once. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy. Let's bring in our guest.
business.
Let's bring our guest in officially. Kris G, A.K.A. Idea Unsound. This dude's a musician, but not your normal, typical musician. Let me tell you what he does, and then we'll let him verify. Because it's complicated, man. It's complicated. No joke. It's complicated. So he does future-based type tracks, but it's all with live code. He's doing it in Ableton. It's called Algorave. So he's an Algorave musician. Tell us what that is, Kris.
Yeah, so I do live coded musical performances, which means I essentially walk up on stage. I'm actually going to South by Southwest this March, so a couple
Nice.
of weeks. I'll be flying out there. And we have a whole crew. We do live code performances. I'm going to walk up on stage with my laptop. I'm going to project my screen so everybody can see what's happening. And I show my Ableton Live set. And then I have a couple of tools, some Max for Live devices, that allow me to just come up with MIDI notes, come up with like musical notes by typing in what I want to like happen. And so I just have the blank set. I've already made all the tracks, made all the sounds, and I just start adding in notes on the fly and make techno, make like house music, and then whatever we can think of. And I make
Nice.
future bass, I make glitch, IDM. I actually just had an EP come out on January 5th. So that's a 2-track called Pixel Funk.
That's
Check
right.
that out. It's on all the stream platforms, Bandcamp, whatever you use.
That's right. And don't sleep on his old catalog either, man, because Be With You, and then one of my favorite jams is one of your oldest, Floating Lettuce. I really like that song, Floating Lettuce, man. There's like it's Ryan, that's the name of it. I'm not even kidding, but it's super.
Well, I like the title, man.
The tracks are, yeah, but they're super glitchy, and then it's organized chaos. That's what it seems like to me. It's like super glitchy stuff, and then he comes in with this nice like reggaeton drum. Just a nice beat. It's a steady beat. I'll have to send you the link. Idea Unsound. You'll find him out there. Like I said, not just your typical musician, but coming up there with live code and rocking South by Southwest. It's insane. Can I fly down there with you, Kris?
Hey, Let's go, man. Let's go. Get some tacos.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Let's get into this, man. Here's a big story here. So the WWE got hit with some crazy allegations on Vince McMahon. We're not gonna go there.
Yeah,
we're not even gonna go there. But what that affected, because Brock Lesnar's name got mentioned in there. So now they're in panic mode. So they got to remove Brock Lesnar from the WWE 2K24 game. That's not an easy feat. Kris, is that an easy feat?
No, that's money right there. That's a lot of money to move at the last minute.
He's on the cover. And from what I know, he was on the cover of the most expensive edition. Well, that can be changed. That's not hard. But he was like 35% of the storyline in the WrestleMania mode that they had coming out. So they got to do something there. And on a outside of WWE, on a game developer, that's torture. It doesn't matter what happened out. They don't care. We know how it is, Kris, when you're in the trenches building building code and all that stuff. To have a manager come in and tell you, we got to get rid of all that. They've been probably working on that for 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, they probably already had delays built into their timeline. Like they already expected certain delays. They were already maybe pushing the limit on the release, and now it's a complete 180.
Yeah.
How
It's
much
not good.
money?
It's not a good thing over there.
How much money do you think they're going to lose?
They're going to have to pay a lot of people to rework all the artwork, re-implement the sounds. They got to retweak the story mode now. They're probably going to have to redevelop a lot of that, you know? The gameplay designers who wrote all that story in there, back to the drawing board, working overnight.
So that's your narrative team then. That's a whole other team that's going to have to come in there and redo that part. There's it affects every department of a video game. Like
think of the audio
they're
team.
scrambling. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good question, McBain. How much money are they going to lose? A lot. Like
Also, I know like the WWE likes to use like other stories outside of wrestling for the storyline. I'm pretty sure they're not going to have any references to Brock Lesnar whatsoever. No hints, no Easter eggs, no nothing. I'd be surprised if they even have his wrestling moves in there, his wrestling set. You probably can't even like
That's true.
create anybody who looks like Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Like character models and all that stuff got to go out the window. I would assume because they're trying to cover up all the negative. I mean, they have to. They got to. If that stuff's true, it's hard not to think it is when you see all these people coming out talking about it. Another big story. Disney came out of nowhere last week and dropped $1.5 billion for Epic Games and Fortnite. What are you guys seeing out of that? Like, what's that partnership going to get?
That's interesting. That's really interesting. Epic Games is positioned in a really interesting way. Like they have Fortnite, they're doing Rocket League development. They just did the Lego Fortnite edition, which brought in a whole new customer base there for the Lego side of things. So they have a pretty big demographic of users. The Disney edition just makes sense, right? Like you have Lego, racing. I'm imagining some Disney Fortnite now.
Oh yeah, that's what I told McBain. McBain, I said I'm ready to slay out in my Mickey Mouse character with my Steamboat Willie skin on. You know, the black and white one, the old school.
You can do that one now. It's public domain. You're good.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey Man. It's coming out soon.
Will you play? Hey, will you start? What are you looking forward to in the Disney Epic? Yeah, the Blood and Honey too. My God, I saw another one of those movies.
Yeah.
Dip these paws.
Dip
these
paws.
Anything to do with Star Wars, or Marvel. Definitely look into that. Hey, man, if they put anything with Luke Cage in there or Black Panther, they can have my money. So anything with that, I'm all in that.
But don't fuck
Marvel
it up like that Avengers game was, because we tried. Me and you tried, McBain. We tried to make that happen.
Blaine's such a good friend. I know he didn't really want to play the game, but I've been dying to get someone to play with, especially when they dropped that DLC with Black Panther. I'm like, dude, we got to play this, Blaine. Wake your ass up. Let's go. And it just wasn't it, man. Just wasn't it.
Man, I bought the collector's edition and everything. I had the the statue and all the other stuff that came with it. Game stuff's still cool. The game's dead though. Did you play that one, Kris? The Avengers game?
No, I missed that one. I'm not a huge Marvel Universe guy, so I usually don't play the games. What do you think was so wrong with it?
Oh
They
man.
turned it into a live service. It was repetitive. Now the story mode itself, the main story outside the multiplayer, was fine, But once like you beat the game and it turned into a live service event, and the content was lacking, just the skill set was repetitive. Enemies were repetitive. When you got new gear, it didn't change the look of the character. People wanted certain characters and we couldn't get them. The characters they brought in, they were just copies of other characters that were already in the game. It just wasn't fun. It just wasn't fun.
It was kind of half-assed. Like I'm serious,
yes.
man. We really tried to play that game, and I would love to see Disney come in with that $1.5 billion and put another $1.5 billion and make us something good that's in that league. Because on the base, that game wasn't bad. They had some good stuff in there. Just needed more work on it. I don't know. Somebody got lazy. Somebody got
Part of
lazy.
the reason why it's part of the reason why so many people are just sick and tired of live service games. That's why Suicide Squad that recently came out. People are really mad at that right now. I haven't played it yet. I'm kind of like waiting for it to drop in price a little bit, but people just don't want live service games. They want just single player games.
How do you feel about that, Chris?
That's an interesting point. The game that came out recently, the name is escaping me now. Single player AAA first person shooter game, but it completely tanked because they couldn't sell the first person shooter without the online services. Like there was
it Payday 3? Because that one bombed because they won't go offline with that one.
I can't believe I'm spacing out. It starts with an A. Avernus.
We'll have to.
This is relatively recent. Either EA. Man, I'm rambling now, but yeah, that was a good example of kind of the dangers of trying to release tried and true first person shooter, but then you take away the multiplayer element, and then there's not really there's a new IP you have to get invested in. There's all of this new things that you have to discover, and it's competing, especially last year, with so many good releases. So
Immortals of Avium? Was that it?
Yes.
Yeah, Immortals of Avium. That's the one. Yeah, bombed, tanked. Yeah, they got to figure this thing out. Hey, but Payday 3 did the same thing, man. I love the Payday series. They put the third one out, bare bones. Nothing that they talked about. Wouldn't take it offline, so you had to be online, and that just doesn't float for people, man. That's why these games that are, to me, the single player offline games are really big, like the Death Strandings and the RPGs.
Yes.
Like those games, to me, they're never gonna go away.
That's a good point, though. I think with those type of games, with role-playing games especially, you have a setting that is more inviting for a single person. You have this entire story, characters, narrative. It's all built around, and it's already made for you. So you just have to kind of sit back and get your popcorn and play the game.
That's right. I like that.
Call of Duty, you have to be actively participating with that game, and that also relies on however many other people are playing.
It's interesting because it's kind of hit or miss. For example, The Last of Us 2 remastered. People wanted some type of online play for it. I mean, they already came out with a game called Factions a few years ago, way long ago, and people loved it. People are still playing it. So, they've been waiting so long for some type of multiplayer aspect of The Last of Us, and it kept on getting delayed, and then they said, you know what? We're not going to do it. And people are pissed. You got to know your audience. You got to know your audience, man. Sometimes they want it, sometimes they don't.
Somebody out there that's doing it right now is Arrowhead Games with Helldivers 2. Somehow they seem to have gotten the formula right with the online stuff and whatever else, because they're killing it. They just became, I think they broke a record or something last week. It became the highest selling game on PS5 that was released on PC as well. That's crazy. That's awesome, though. But I haven't played this game yet. You guys played it yet? No?
I'm playing it tonight, actually.
Are you?
Probably
Nice. I'm thinking about scooping it up.
Yeah, I'm probably going to scoop it up on Sunday because I have Monday off. So I can just check this bad boy out. I'll probably pick it up on PC. But the great thing about it is it's crossplay. So
It's crossplay.
it is crossplay.
And did you see the price tag on it?
I think it's $40,
Only
right?
$40. Yeah, $40, man.
Certain places you can get it for cheaper. I won't
Oh,
tell
I'm sure.
how,
I'm sure.
but you can just Google that and
Take-
you can figure that out. for yourself.
But I mean, but I'm hearing, but this game's success is a good thing right now in this industry because I'm seeing that Arrowhead Studios, they've announced that they're intending to increase the size of the studio now for post launch. I hope that means they're going to lay off 50,000 people in a year from now, like the rest of the gaming companies did. But that's a good sign for gaming, I think, is this Helldivers game. I'm going to really check it out. I might pick it up tonight. Might pick it up tonight and look at it.
You know, the funny thing is, I never heard about the first game. I didn't hear about this game. One night I was streaming. One of the viewers was like, "Hey, McBain, you going to check out Helldivers 2?" I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And I looked it up. I was like, "Oh. This kind of reminds me of Starship Troopers, which is also a good game." And I was like, I'm going to check this out.
Good movie.
I've heard nothing but good things about Helldivers 2, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one, I think. Four player co-op. Go ahead, Chris.
Yep, 4-player squad-based co-op. It also uses voice chat, which is locational. So the further you are away from a person, the less they'll be able to hear you. There's friendly fire, which is a big part of the game.
Oh, see, I didn't know all that. I didn't know it had a friendly fire. That's just chaos.
Yes.
My aim.
So you have to work with the team.
My aim is trash. So I'm sorry already. The people are gonna play with me. You're probably gonna get shot. Sorry. My bad.
Hilarious. Now this is something cool that I heard also about this game is there were live humans at the studio who were basically influencing the gameplay somehow and how things went online for people to make it fun, to keep it fun for them. That's a cool concept to me. So they literally had people at their studio helping the game along for the players playing it.
When I see
I don't even know how
game
you do that.
When I see any game like that that's really, really fun, I constantly say to myself, now, if you keep on putting in content, you guys will be fine. But if you're one of those developers that are like, oh, we didn't know this would be so successful. We didn't know that people would just like be digging the content and going through it so fast. Because I've seen a lot of good games start out really, really well. And then all of a sudden it dies because the developer wasn't ready for more content to go into the game, which is sad.
That's a good point, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Arrowhead Games have already announced that they're going to hire more people for post-launch content. Let's see if they stick to that, because that will be that's sink or swim, man. If you can't put content out, your game just it's going to tank, man. What about it not coming out on Xbox? It's on PS5 and PC, but no Xbox. Why?
Isn't it a PS5 developed game, like a PS5 studio? Or am I
it's
wrong?
Arrowhead Game Studios, but yes, that's under Sony. But they gave it to PC. But I think even Phil Spencer says he doesn't know why it's not on Xbox. So
let's be real. There's been such a demand for PlayStation games to hit PC since they did Spider-Man the first time. That just unleashed. We're still waiting for Ghost of Tsushima. The PC crowd. They did The Last of Us.
Yeah.
They know that as soon as the PC market gets on it, it's going to explode in sales. And Xbox is a direct competitor. PC, I guess it's also a direct competitor, but it's also a huge player base.
Yeah.
It's kind of neutral.
Usually the big,
like console
really good
war.
games, like Spider-Man, Death Stranding, games like that, they eventually do come out on PC, but it's like a year maybe or more. So by then, Sony has already got their money. They're like, okay, let's make some more money. All right, PC, you can have it. But they don't give it to Xbox because, like I said, like you said, Chris, they're a competitor. So it's smart. That's why, I'm not really into the console wars, but I have a PS5 and a PC. I don't really feel the need to get an Xbox because I have a PC, so I can pretty much play anything. So,
yeah,
oh, well.
But there's almost an emergence of a PC console war now.
That's where I was going, Chris. Tell us about that. He's the expert on the PC console war. Talk about that because he mentioned some of these to me, and I was like, I never even heard of this one. Like, tell us about it.
So I'm pretty big on handheld gaming consoles. I have been since Game Boy, PSP, and all these consoles. When I was a child, a teenager, I had a dream that one day you could take your laptop or take your gaming PC, in your pocket and go play games. And this is as I'm carting my desktop to my friend's house so we can play World of Warcraft together, right? So like all of a sudden, you know, a few years ago, and there's more, but a few years ago, Steam just drops the mic with the Steam Deck. And it's the first available device for a Western audience that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, that plays most of your PC library, and that looks amazing. For one, you know, the screen looks great, great ergonomics. So that kind of just like made everybody stop and think like, okay, is this a thing? Steam is obviously leveraged to do this really well. They have the whole game marketplace to make money from the sales, so they can burn a little bit of money making this device. But another group of OEMs, another group of companies took notice and also started making their own handhelds. So ASUS, soon after, launched the Asus ROG Ally, which was then followed with the Lenovo Legion Go, which was then followed with the MSI Claw. And these are only in the Western market, I'll say, because there's also an entire category of handheld PCs that exist from China, like A&EO, A.A.A, A.K.A or 1X Player. Like all of these consoles have existed. They're handheld PCs that cost an arm and a leg. And now the entire Western audience, you know, can go on Steam, can go to Best Buy and pick up a handheld gaming console that is a PC.
That's wild.
And interestingly enough, all of these consoles are around the same price. The ROG Ally, $700. The MSI Claw, $700. The Lenovo Legion Go, $700. So
that's interesting. So what sets them apart then? Like, how did you pick one? Which one did you pick?
That's the awesome thing. There's actually a lot of diversity in these consoles. So for example, with the Steam Deck, perhaps you don't need the best graphics capability in a handheld console. You just want to play some emulated games. It's got you for the lowest price point as well, with trackpads built in. Or maybe you want something a little bit more powerful so you can play Death Stranding on the go. Well, there you go with the Asus ROG Ally, $700, you'll play AAAs no problem. Well, if that form factor isn't what you're quite looking for, the Legion Go actually has removable side controllers that are built into the screen, just like the Switch.
Like a Switch, yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
Okay.
So you have options for removable controllers with that one. And then also with the MSI Claw, it looks suspiciously like the ROG Ally, but it actually uses the latest Intel chip. So all of the other ones are using AMD's 7840U processor. This is using a newer Intel Ultra chip. So it's slightly more powerful and better power consumption for the same price.
Look at that. We got a full breakdown, McBain. Which one are you going with? You going to scoop up one of those, or?
Yeah, maybe I can get one for Christmas or Kwanzaa or something. Maybe you can get
Christmas or Kwanzaa. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get you one for
me
Kwanzaa
up.
this year, McBain.
Yeah,
I'll get you
thank
one
you.
for
I
Kwanzaa
appreciate
this year.
that.
How about
Yeah,
that?
it's a little bit
Yeah,
out of
I'm
my
looking
price
out for
wage.
you.
I'm still paying off this computer I have right here. So yeah, I think
That's true. Hey, but that thing's a beast, though, man. You got a 4080 or something in there?
Yeah, I try to get a 4090 too, but no, they're still hard to get.
Yeah, I
Things
know.
are not
That's
cheap.
crazy
They are
too.
not.
4080 in that thing. That's a beast. Got to catch him out on stream, man. You got to see Ryan McBain at Twitch.
Hey guys, what do you think of this change of the landscape? It seems like Xbox and PlayStation, these traditional consoles, are becoming more like service providers, right? With Xbox saying that they want every screen to be an Xbox. I don't know if you saw that announcement.
Yeah.
They said they want every screen, every tablet, every phone to be an Xbox. And it seems like PlayStation's kind of going on a similar route where they're leaning more into creating peripherals that can handle these games as well, or just releasing on PC. And then the PC market is developing consoles.
It's wild. You look at, just this past week, you saw Mark Zuckerberg put out his review of the Apple Vision Pro. And the main part he said is, it can't play Xbox games. And everybody went wild. You can play Xbox games in a Quest 3. So that's funny that,
That's pretty cool, actually. I said that's pretty cool. Back to Xbox, it just seems like they don't really care as much about the console war. They're more about just their getting their games out there to everybody.
That's what Chris is just saying. Like,
Blane
get it on their screen. Don't care how.
Blane and I were talking about this last week. How people that are huge Xbox fans are pissed off because now you can. It's looking like you can be able to play games on the PS5 that you can never even dream of. Like, it's gonna be weird if and when Halo comes out on PS5. That's gonna blow my mind. Or Gears of War, that's just blows my mind that's actually gonna happen.
Me too.
Kind of happy I didn't get an Xbox. But
I do. You know what'll be even wilder? You know what's even wilder is when Halo does pop up on there. You're gonna see the Microsoft logos. You're gonna have to see all that because that's who made it. Like, it's gonna pop up on your PlayStation. It'll have to pop up with their logos. That's gonna that'll blow my mind. Like, that's
somebody's gonna they're gonna jump out of a window when they see that.
Yeah, it's almost like when it's almost like I'm gonna make another wrestling reference. It's like when they bought WCW. Remember that when WWE bought WCW and it was just this big thing? Like, that's what it looks like, man. It's like all combined together.
Yeah. My
messing with somebody's identity.
Yeah. My only concern is one company like controlling everything or like leading everything. Because when that happens, that company in the lead, they get lazy. So competition's always good. So hopefully they keep on making Xboxes and they keep on making PlayStations. Because if one company's on top, that's when the product gets stale. That's my only concern.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, it's not going anywhere. We'll even end it there for this week. Kris G, Idea Unsound. Appreciate you joining us, man.
Hey,
where can we find you? Where do you want us to find you?
I am all over the net. You can search Idea Unsound into Google and listen on your favorite streaming platform. My website is ableton.pro. I teach music production lessons remotely or in person if you're in the Bay Area. And I also do some Twitch streaming, although I'm not as prolific as McBain here, but
thank you for the compliment. I wouldn't really call myself prolific, but thank you.
That's right. And your
I do every now and then.
Yes. And your website is IamIU.io. Is that correct? That's it?
Yes, sir. Or Ableton.pro. They both redirect to the same way.
Same spot. Got you, man. That's awesome. McBain, where are we finding you at?
You can find me in the grittiest, grimiest hood. No, I'm playing. Just find me on Twitch, Ryan McBain. That's where you find me at. Also, I am basically just Twitch and also RyanMcBain.com.
Sweet, man. We'll be back next week. Hey, Kris G, man, thanks for joining us, and feel free to come back anytime you want. Like, you can come on with us. This is fun. We're gonna have more guests in the future. It's gonna be great. We're just getting this show rolling.
Real quick, what you guys playing before we get out of here?
Ooh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's why I'm really mad about the lack of content. Playing that a lot. Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima. I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm still playing that. Pretty soon I'll be playing Helldivers 2. But my main game right now.
I'm jumping in Helldivers. I'm jumping in Helldivers
right now.
I still play Destiny a lot. Still play a lot of D2.
You still play Destiny? That's wild, man. I remember we were talking about it last week, how we were playing that so much of that. But yeah, I play a lot of indie games as well, a lot of horror games because when I stream, I scare easily, and I hook up my heart monitor to my Twitch so people can see my heart rate fluctuate, and they love it when I get scared. I scream like a woman. I'll just come out and say
he does. He does. What are you playing? What are you playing, Kris?
Ooh, right now I'm playing. Well, I'm gonna be playing some Helldivers, playing Pal World with family.
Yes,
Diablo 4. I'm still on that.
Oh yeah,
can't get away. And a little bit of Baldur's Gate. I'm trying to get back in there.
Woo! I didn't start that yet because I don't want to get my life stuck away.
200 hours in.
200 hours in. See, yeah.
I gotta just finish it at this point. Yeah.
I heard the game's amazing.
Crazy, man.
It's on my list. I heard it's awesome.
We're gonna talk about that in the future too. That's a big one. But until then, we'll see you guys next week.